And this is what it looks like. This is Mary Ross Park.
You can see where it's going to end up. It's going to travel the storm drains. Oh, both end up in the river.
Look at the cannon. They're going to fire that cannon too.
The accurate or the effective range on a smoothbore musket was probably about 60 or 70 yards. If you got lucky, maybe you could wound or kill somebody at 100 or 120 yards. But when these weapons came around, now you're able to shoot somebody 300 or 400 yards away pretty easily. But we didn't change our tactics. We each other down by the hundreds in these big battles. This weapon fires, and the reason it's so effective, it fires what's called a mini ball. This is a .58 caliber mini ball right here, and the reason this is so effective, let me go back for a second. Civil War was not the first use of rifles. Rifles were around for about 200 years even before the Civil War, but they weren't used in combat because rifled weapons, you had a really tight fit between the projectile and the barrel, the lands and grooves in the rifle. So after you shot a rifle 2 or 3 times, it would get fouled up and you would have to clean it. It was out of service, which is not acceptable for a military weapon because you have to be able to keep firing and engaging the enemy. The mini ball. Now, folks over here in the United States, at that time, we just called it a mini ball, but it's actually his name, Mene, but we read it as like, oh, that looks like mini to me, so I'm gonna call that a mini ball. But it's a Mene ball. And what made this so effective is it had a hollow base. This would fit down the musket loosely, just like a Revolutionary War smoothbore musket. But when you fired the weapon, the expanding gas from that explosive charge would expand the base of that round, let it engage the rifling, and rifle it, spin it down range where it was accurate. So now you had a weapon that could be loaded easily like the smoothbore musket, but it had the accuracy of the rifle. So now we're killing tens of thousands of people during the Civil War. Because once you got into combat, first thing you're going to lose is kind of your ability to think, your ability to have fine motor skills. So if it's drilled into your body, you can do it without thinking about it. You can keep engaging the enemy even though you're scared to death, because again, thousands of those mini balls are coming down range and whizzing by your head, so you better be able to shoot back. All right, so the drill's going to go something like this. Shoulder arms, and the command is load in 9 times load. Now that command, they put the weapon down in front of their feet in front of a cartridge. At this time, they would remove a paper cartridge that had this lead slug in it that I just showed you and some black powder wrapped inside it, and they would hold that up to their face. The next command is tear cartridge. They would bite into the black powder of that round, tear it open, exposing the powder. And the next command is charge cartridge. They would dump the black powder down the muzzle of the weapon. Again, the powder, the ball, everything goes into the muzzle of this weapon. The next command is draw rammer. You would remove the ramrod from the weapon. Ram cartridge. Seat the round fully into the breech of return rammer. Because if you shoot that thing down range, you can't load your weapon anymore. Basically, at that point, you got a giant club or you got to fix bayonets. Command is prime. At the command of prime, they will reach into their cap pouch and pull out a percussion cap. It's a little copper disc with a drop of, back then, fulminated mercury, small explosive charge on it, and they place that on the cone or the nipple of the weapon. All right, the next command will be ready, aim, fire. And that's how it's done. A good soldier can do this about 3 times a minute.
Several food trucks out here today too. Funnel cake,